This is Ken Pyle with VOD TV. We're here at the Independent Show. We're with Levi Maaia of Full Channel in Rhode Island, Warren, Rhode Island. Levi, you were just on a panel talking about kind of the millennial generation, new generation of cable providers, and wanted to get your insight a little bit. One of the things you talked about was the idea of serving the community, being in the community as a real advantage for your company and for others like you.
I'll give you a story. In Bristol, Rhode Island, there's the nation's oldest Independence Day celebration. They've been celebrating it for 220 plus years this year. And this year was the first year that none of the local broadcast stations stepped up to broadcast the parade live. And the parade committee didn't find out until the last minute that they weren't going to have a live televised parade for the first time in recent memory. So a band of volunteers got together with the town council and came to us and said, if we produce this live, if we set up some cameras and get a feed to you, will you get it on the air? And we said, sure, absolutely. We still have the ability to do a live connection from almost anywhere in our service area. It was one of the early requirements of cable TV in Rhode Island. So unlike our competitors who aren't even technically capable of doing this, and certainly wouldn't be able to do it in such 11th hour notification, we stepped up and were able to get that parade on the air, much to the satisfaction of many people in the community who enjoy watching it on TV, especially elderly, and we have vets home there. A lot of the vets can't get out and see the parade, and they really enjoy seeing it on TV. So that commitment to the community, I think, not just giving money, but being agile, being able to provide things to the community in a way that big corporations may not be able to and probably aren't willing to, has been a real advantage to us. And that's just one example of the way that we've stayed involved as a family business in the communities that we serve.
Well, and it kind of leads to another point you made, which is the whole idea of, originally when the kind of the pact with the broadcasters, part of it was to give back in terms of public good, and you pointed out some kind of issues with where that's gone.
Yeah, originally, so the airwaves are everyone's, and the government is the custodian for our airwaves as Americans. And the broadcast TV and radio stations were allowed to use the airwaves as long as they gave back to the community, served the communities that they were in. And originally the idea was that radio and television would provide public affairs programming, cover local news and events, and that's sort of waned over the years. We've seen, back in the heyday of broadcast television, the 60s, 70s, there was quite a bit of programming originated in local communities. Local news truly did serve the communities they were in, and as we've seen media conglomerates come in and buy local stations, and that commitment to the community sort of dwindles. And now we're at a point where much of the time that was set aside for local television stations to produce local programming is now filled with syndicated programming, and much of that local flair is gone.